so I can put you back up onto my tripod.
There you go.
Hold on, right there. There. All right, I think we're back.
Yeah, I don't hear an echo, but I think the sound quality of how loud or how soft speak is based off of if it's my phone or my tablet. Weird thing, I cannot do go lives on my tablet at all.
Hmm.
Only on my phone.
My iPhone's been giving me trouble. So anytime I do a live on my iPhone, I get the comment that I have an echo or it's too low. Like I was with Tori last week or the week before, did a live with her, and everybody's like, "We can't hear you."
And you're like, come on.
They're like,
Um,
"Tori, we just can't hear you." I was like, "Oh, okay."
you're like, I'm sorry. No, with
And I
me,
got
like when I first started doing my YouTube channel, I think one of my first bags I did was the Mabel, and all I got was we cannot hear you. And my husband's like, we have the microphone dead on you. So throughout this YouTube journey, and I haven't been in it for very long, but I learned that I have to have a really big microphone, and it has to be within like a couple inches of my hair for people to hear me. I guess my voice is deeper than I think it is, and when I meet people at So Magical, the first thing they say is, "Your voice is, like, really deep-ish. Do you know how to sing?" And I'm like, "I know how to burn your ears off, but
I'm the same way. I'm like,
singing's not my,
I can make some dogs howl.
right? I mean, maybe break some glass? I don't know. But I know how to pretend that I know how to sing in the shower. I think I'm amazing." I'm like,
I
"Best
don't
vocalist of the
I don't
year."
try. I really don't. I don't even
Yeah.
try because my husband is musically inclined. I am not.
Yeah,
So
my husband is too. It's kind of annoying, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
but it's good when he serenades me.
Yeah, see, and Kendall can really sing. He sings so well, and I'm like,
Are you able to make me a moderator so I can
"That's it."
add links and things like that if needed?
Let's see. It just says only gives me to remove guest.
Okay, no problem. You could just put the links on then. Uh,
Okay.
on the email and then you could just
Yeah,
put
I can put it on. Yeah.
yeah. Okay. So hello guys. My name is Sandra and I am with Garner Sewing Room, and we are a teaching studio here in Raleigh, North Carolina. We teach sewing classes for kids, teens, and adults, anywhere from beginner to advanced. And Shanova is actually coming in as one of our guest instructors that we're having. This is something new we've started this year of having different guest instructors to have different levels of sewing skills, like kind of thing,
Yeah.
and hopefully building your own sewing skills. You by no means have to be an expert to take any of our classes. We have a wide range of classes, and Shanova is going to be doing the sand
The Sandhill Sling.
sandhill sling with wax canvas.
You know I am about wax
Yeah.
canvas.
So we're going to be learning about wax canvas, and hers is actually going to be different because Shanova wanted to do hers as a retreat style rather than a workshop style. So hers is going to be a 2-day event. We have a room block set up already with um, True, which is a Hilton brand right here in Garner. It's literally 5 minutes down the road, straight shot here. It's a very good rate for the middle of the summer.
Yeah.
Um, so I think it's like $159 a night.
Mhm.
Yeah,
I believe so.
yeah. And so our classes, I know we've gotten a lot of people saying, "Oh, I wish you would come to my area," and so on and so forth. But I'm literally like, this is a teaching studio, and I have like a literal like brick and mortar that we do classes all week long. Um, we do classes 4 to 5 nights a week, 2 to 3 classes a day. So this is actually what we do here full time. So this is just having guest people like Shanova coming to us and coming and doing guest instructions and sharing their talents and sharing their ability to do something a little different with us here. So we're not a traveling expo.
Mhm.
So I'm literally a brick and mortar,
Yeah,
right?
she has a really nice classroom setup. Actually, when she showed it to me, I was like, "Holy moly, it's beautiful." It's a great setup, and she has a we have more than just sewing this bag on the 2-day thing, which I'm really excited because she mentioned one thing, and I was like, "Yes!" The tandy leather.
Yes. Yeah. So I've already arranged the transportation for that so we can have everybody come, we'll like all go together and we'll go on the bus and or the van. It's like it's a 15 passenger van. The van and go to Tandy Leather, go out there, touch and feel and answer any questions you guys have about leather work, different tools that are actually very much like interchangeable with wax canvas.
Yeah.
So it's not only leather, but it's also something that because we are working with the wax canvas at the Tandy Leather is a very good source for that.
Yes.
So I'm excited for that because it's going to be more an interactive field trip.
Yeah, and it's also fun to go with other people who like to sew that wanna, like, dabble with it. They have even the smallest handy leather stuff always have one thing that I've never seen before, and I'm always amazed. And their shops come in all different sizes.
Oh
There
yeah.
was, like, a massive one in New York. I'm like, "Holy heck, you're a couple that's pretty big."
Mhm.
So, I thought that was great, and then also um the applique. A lot of people ask me about that, and they're like, "Why haven't you taught us class on that?" And I'm like, "It's more of an in-person thing because I can help you and instruct you and tell you certain things that if I say it over, a video and I'm doing it, you still may not connect the 2 unless someone's there showing you. So we have that also on top of it. We're gonna be able to put your individual like my name is Shnova, or if I go by Nova, I could put a C or an N on my bag, and I thought that would be a really cool thing that if you put on your bag and you now come home with not only learning wax canvas, but making the sandhill tote, which has like 3 different ways to finish it: binding, birthing, and or drop in lining. Um, get to work with wax canvas and know that you don't need any interface for the exterior. And learning about it, seeing it how it functions when you're sewing, because a lot of people I get the needle bar is gonna go through the wax canvas and it's gonna go into my machine, and it doesn't quite work like that. So you get to see it, feel it, and experience that, plus applique, plus field trips, as well as cool places to eat. So
Yes.
there's a lot of it's like a lot of interactive things that we get to do together as a small group
Yes.
that I haven't done before myself. I just never been to Tandy Leather with anybody except Kendall, so I'm actually really excited about this to go with other
Yeah.
sewers. I'm like, "Yes."
It's not a really big one, obviously not like Texas or New York, anything like that.
Yeah,
It punch it's got a big punch in it. Like it packs a punch. This one here locally, it's definitely full.
yeah,
It is full, like full of all kinds of stuff. So, um, the and then on I know 2 days we're having catered lunches. So your tuition also includes catered lunches and includes snacks. Um, we might do an individual, like I'll set it up for anybody who wants to come, but for dinner for us to go together to dinner. Um, kind of thing so we can continue to just like hang out and stuff because I know
that
people
was fun.
kind of and they don't know anybody. These type of social events can be one of 2 ways. It could be really like anxious and they don't really want to do as much with the group, or they're like, I don't want to be by myself,
Yeah,
but I want to be around people who are kind of like me.
yeah.
You have the same interests, so the icebreakers there. You're coming to the same class. There's a little bit of an icebreaker, so that helps a lot too.
Yeah, no, it does because I'm like really introverted and I don't read people as well as everyone else does. So like what happens is if I get in a group, I have a tendency of getting the black sheep name because I'm an observer. I sit back and observe. And unless someone comes up to me, I normally don't come up to other people. So like having that ice break, like we're all in the same room, we're all here to do this one thing and we get to do this interact and eat lunch with people that you probably have socialized on some form of social media, and then get to meet them in real life is one thing. And then having lunch, going on field trips, things like that make you guys we're gonna have like some kind of bond after this. We get to do something that I've never done. This is my first one doing, and then you get to meet me, I get to meet you, and I probably know you from somewhere on social media, whether it's Instagram or Facebook, and I'm going to be like, it's exciting. And I
Yeah.
get to teach things that I love to do. I've expressed numerous times on my that how much I love Noodlehead. I was really honored and happy that she was like, "Yeah, give it a go, have your class, like do it." And then also right now, slings are in for fall 2023, winter 23-24. Slings are really in, so we can make this very masculine or very feminine or not, non-gender. Like this is something that I feel like would be great for the summer for yourself. And if you're doing craft shows or whatever, this is a bag that you could pump out a couple of them if you do line sewing. And that's all things that we can discuss and talk about. And especially because we have so much more time, it's not like a limit on Facebook where it's an hour, I gotta go because I gotta do this, but this time is blocked out just for sewing and socializing. You can pick my mind and I can pick yours, and you never know what we get to create next.
Yeah, that's what I liked about it too, because most of our workshops are only like between 4 to 5 hours, but even at that at one continuous sitting because it's like, yeah, we're making the bag, we're gonna start and finish the bag, and we finish the bag, but a lot of times people are like, they're like, "Whew,
Yeah.
I'm spent after that." They don't really at home, you could do it, but when you're in a classroom setting, it's different because you're at a different pace from other people. Some people feel like they're feeling like rushed,
Mhm.
or some people get done really fast.
Yeah,
And
and
I
this one
like
could break down. We can do like the lining the first day or like the exterior, and then that way we could just put it together, and it's not like pressure that this person's sewing faster or slower than me. It's just we have this time and we're going to just do the lining today.
Yep.
And getting to know wax canvas because there's people that have a lot of questions about it. It's a very beautiful material, and once you play around with it, you might be the person that like is my husband who makes the wax canvas for me because it is a really cool thing. Like some of these expensive fabrics that you're getting from fandom, you can make put wax canvas and it just you can this bag could last you a lifetime now.
It
And
for sure.
it elevates it 100%, and then if like I said, if you are selling at Comic-Cons, conventions, expo, whatever, it's a great selling feature to say, "Yeah, see this white fabric? You could throw dirt at it, and it's just gonna repel it." So, like, I don't know. I don't most custom
Let's see.
fabrics always come in white now. Be like, "Let's pour this bucket of water so you can see."
I
It's
can
like
yeah, that's for sure. Yeah, and like I said, I like it because you don't we're not having to push it all into one 4-hour span kind of thing. And you get to kind of like de decompress a little bit in between if you need to, because if we have like a snack or a free time or something like that, it's more of you able to just decompress a little bit. Because I am a lot like you, Shanova. I am very much introverted. I am always the one that's at events in the corner,
mhm,
everybody, and just kind of like, okay, not trying to have like an anxiety attack type of thing. Funny story. My husband has a huge family.
yeah.
Huge. His mom is one of 10.
Ooh,
And my first interaction with them, my husband was like at the time we were dating, and he's like, I'm running late. I won't be at the Christmas party on time, but go ahead of me, and this is in Wilmington. Go ahead, my aunt's house. Here's their address. You know, call her if you need directions or anything like that, and so on and so forth. And I'm like, you're so lucky. I love you, because normally I would never do that. I never ever would do that. Going to an event by myself, no.
yeah.
I'm not that type of person. Even when I was younger and we went out dancing and all that kind of stuff, it had to be like 6 of us girls together, because I don't go by myself. I
Yeah,
don't.
I get this weird repetition that people think I come across like mean. It's just generally I'm watching, studying, and observing people, and I don't say anything because
And if I'm confused, I have, like, a look on my face, I'm like,
my god, yeah, all the time. Like you're like, "She knows looking at me mean." It's not that, it's I'm not understanding something.
I walked up in there and I
Yeah.
was, "My god, he said this was a family function. It's like 70 people in this house."
I actually think I'll be more comfortable than what if he just was like his mom and his dad and his siblings. It's more intimate, so that means that you're forced to talk to people. When there's a lot of people, you could just say like hi, goodbye, and kind of merge in with the crowd and be hidden. It's
Oh,
those
no,
smaller
that
crowds that'll be like,
that door, he like, "Oh, Sandra," and she's like, "Come, you gotta meet the family." I'm like, "What?"
you know what? No.
And she from table to table to table talking about, "This is Dwight's girlfriend," and yada, yada, yada. Not knowing that I'm, like, the first, like, big girlfriend, like, he's been talking to everybody about me, and everybody knew about me. I know nobody. Everybody knew about me. It's like, "Oh, you're this girl," and all this
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah, no, I get it because my mom is the baby of 10 and his dad is the baby, like one of the babies of 10 too. So we have big families on both sides, but no matter what setting I am, I'm generally really quiet. Like I'm gonna tell you how awkward I am. After all the so magicals, my face hurt for like a week because I have never smiled that much. That was I don't talk I like Kindle, I could talk to Kindle effortlessly, like, he's my best friend. I could tell him about anything and he just listens and responds. But our roles are so polar opposite. He gets into a crowd and it's like he's a peacock. Everybody's like, "You're glorious feather," and he's like, "Yes, da, 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 da," and you're just like,
Yeah,
"I hate you."
I
I,
told
like,
you
literally hate you with all my heart.
that he can be in by himself, like, in a dining area, like, at a restaurant, he could be there, and you know how they say, "Choose your own seat," you know,
Mhm.
everything, so he'll sit somewhere, and within 10 minutes, everybody's sitting around him.
Yeah. That's
He has no
Kendall.
people are, they just gravitate towards him, and I'm like, "Do you know these people that you're just
Like, I don't wanna be around these people.
no, I like,
And Faith is like that too. Faith and my son are just like that. They can go anywhere and everyone's like, "You're amazing. Let's all hang out. Let's kick it. Let's do this." Right? I'm like, "I literally hate you. I don't understand how this." But Hope is like me. Hope is an observer and she doesn't like big crowds. She's kind of an introvert, and that's why I'm trying super hard to get her break her out of her little shell so that she doesn't become like me, where people can think that you're not a nice person because you're not talking, not understanding that it is just your anxiety, and this is how you cope by not saying anything.
yeah,
And I have a very animated facial expression, but my facial expressions don't generally mean what people think they do.
I have a very animated, like, if somebody asks me something, I'm like,
Yeah, and I'll be like, "No, I yeah, I was so if
"What?"
someone asked me to
I
speak
it
at
up. I
something,
don't have
I
a
was like,
filter too, because I was grown I'm my both of my mother and my father are Puerto Rican from New
mhm,
York, um, and in my household, there was only 3 of us growing up together. I have another brother, but he lived with my grandma, but it was, like, cutthroat, like, who's like, survival of the fittest type of thing.
yeah,
Seriously, so if it's, like, one thing after another, like, so especially when I get really, and, like, I don't know, like, passionate about something. I wouldn't say
yeah,
angry,
that
passionate.
passionate was a great word.
The rolling R's start coming out, the hands start coming out, the
Then,
head starts
yeah.
coming out, and everybody's like, "Ooh, the Puerto Rican's coming out."
My husband, whenever he gets animated about something, whether it's good or bad, you could tell he's from, Louisiana. Like, he doesn't sound like he's from Louisiana at all, but when he's talking to his folks down south, I'll be like, "What did you say?" Like,
Mhm. I've
"What?"
been for let's see, we've been married for 14 years, so about 18, close to 20 years in the South now. Um, I I was raised in Florida, but Florida's not the South.
Yeah, it's that
Sorry,
panhandle thing.
not the South.
It it all depends
Um,
on where you are in Florida though too. Like,
mm-mm,
if you're closer to that area that is like
Miami. Out
Yeah. You just get a little you
on
get
the
a
Jersey.
little southern, a little bit. It's not all South, but yeah,
Yeah, we
no.
were across like across the Alligator Alley over to Fort Myers, which was like retirement home, all that kind of stuff. But that's not South. That's not like, oh,
Yeah.
bless your heart.
Bless your heart, child. I love that one. That's my
So
favorite.
here I had to learn how to like, you know, kill them with kindness and sugar and honey and all that other stuff. So I've my husband has also helped me just kind of like be
D
okay. So I'm a little
DV, we apparently we're telling you we have it too, and you're not alone. Okay?
the
Most
resting.
people, yeah, the resting face, like I'm not allergic to smiling, but when Wednesday said that in the old the Addams Family movies, I was like, I relate so hard to this because I feel like I am I know I'm smiling a lot now. It's because it's around other people that do the same thing that I'm doing. I know I'm not alone, but generally people like there was a lady that never approached me. My kids have been at the same school system, same schools. All three of them were going to back, whatever. And she was like, I've known Faith for like, 10 years. My daughter's in 11th grade. And she's like, I never had the courage to come up to you and talk to you. I'm like, oh, it's because I'm wearing sunglasses and I'm not smiling. Okay. 90% of the time.
I've
My dad
just
my dad
uh,
called it the Terminator face. He was like, because he was like, you never know, like Arnold Schwarzenegger could have been laughing when he was doing the lines, but he had his sunglasses on, so you couldn't tell. And I was like, "Oh yeah, sunglasses and with resting face is not the best. It's not the best."
yeah, it's not the most welcoming. I get it.
No, and I never understood. And Faith is like, "You don't smile." And I'm like, "I do when you." She's like, "Yeah, when we come out and you give us a hug, you smile." But she's like, "I've seen you. You're leaning against the tree, looking at your nails, picking up a leaf." I was like, "I can't control that."
Yeah,
She's like,
it's
"Just go
taken
talk
a
to
while,
the
but I've
moms."
gotten to the point where I just
And
naturally.
I'm tall too. Yeah.
And you're
Uh,
tall too.
yeah, and people have a like because I get it, Kendall is tall. He's 6'4". So, like and a half. Don't forget the half. Okay.
You got to put that
Never
half in
forget the half. Okay.
line in a
Oh my
four.
god, you're so tiny. We're gonna look, like, really messed upstairs.
Nine and a.
Yeah, I'm tall, so people have a tendency of not talking to more taller people, especially if they have to look up towards you. It's like this proven thing or whatever, but I am genuinely, like, I even friends and people that know me from high school and college are like, "No, Shanova, you are, like, the weirdest person to come up to." Like, I'm not a very approachable, I guess, because I'm either in my head or I'm trying to figure something out that it's in front of me and I can't understand. And it, it's a weird thing. Like it's a very weird thing. And that's why I was like when So Magical Expo happened, I was nervous. Like, my husband was like, "Why are you so nervous?" Not even the teaching one, the first one, like, my palms were literally sweating because I know how my face comes across. I try so hard. I try so hard not to do it, and I genuinely was so happy because there was other like-minded sewists. So then when you and me started talking about this, I was like, "This is even better because this gives opportunity of having, like, 15 people, like, kind of real world sewing style." Where we all get to be in the same vicinity and have fun and sew things and take time in our like leisure, ask questions, like learn different things, go on field trips. It's like a little weekend camp getaway with other people that like to sew. And I'm more comfortable in that because after we break the initial ice, then you understand that I'm awkward. I understand that you may be awkward and everybody's fine.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
Yeah.
definitely yes. Yes. Yeah. And I think
See, I'm
been described as like a red panda. You know those red pandas? And
there.
cute.
They're cute. Yeah, yeah. I was 'cause as soon as you said it, the Disney movie automatically I love that movie.
Mhm.
The music is so amazing.
And the kids watched that last week, and the rest of the weekend, my son's singing all the songs because
Oh
he
my god. Yeah, that like Disney, I give them this one thing. One, they like now they're making every movie like want to pull at your heartstrings. Like you shouldn't want to cry in Wally, but you do. Okay. Like,
I
okay.
that one.
Yeah, that was a weird one. Like I felt like, okay, so what do we need to do not to get to this situation, Disney? You're not giving me a
Yeah, I have had the ability to watch that one. That was my nephew's favorite movie before he passed away.
Oh,
He was 10 years old. So, and he and I were like this. Like everybody thought he was my son because his mannerisms, the way he talks, everything, he looked just like me, everything. So he was like a little mini me. And so when he passed away, I was like, I can't watch that movie. So I've never
that
watched that movie. My husband knows it, so he like
that's
auto
fair.
rolls right by it. There's not even a choice.
No, 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 it's fair because
So,
our feelings get attached to stuff, and that's a normal coping mechanism to block that away so that you don't have to feel that hurt again.
yeah,
I
well,
definitely get that.
or DB, I don't even know if it's Deb, I'm just imagining it's Deb
I'm
because DB.
I had like I was like I had nicknames for DB, but I was like, "Don't bother." Like, just
Deb,
so you just see come
Deb,
up, you see different my kids are always texting me weird stuff, so I just automatically take all their little anagrams, and I'm like, "Does this mean leave me alone right now?" Like,
my friend sent me a,
Dana, see?
like, I don't know, the one, oh, Donna, it's Donna, hey, Donna. Um, my friend sent me this little message the other day, and it was like some kind of like, I'm like, what language is this? And she's like, oh, it's abbreviation for this is this. I'm like, I'm really old school that I literally type out every word
I
unless like OMG or
I don't
loud.
know. Yeah, like, well, you get the kids,
Type-
all they do is abbreviate, so I get but then the thing is that they start coming up with abbreviations that I literally think the abbreviation is something completely different, and they're like, "Oh my gosh, that is actually a perfect how I would have done it," but that's how my mind works, like, automatically. When I see the numbers, I'm like, "Yeah, don't bother. That's your new nickname." It's not
yeah.
bad.
I'm like, oh,
They're like, "That's it." Mhm.
I don't know all these abbreviations. My daughter texts me and
They
she
knew.
sentences because um she's never, well, we homeschool. So when she started using her phone, she was homeschooling, so she never got into texting with friends and doing all of the abbreviations and all that other stuff. You know what I mean? I don't. So she's never done that. So for me, she's always text in full sentences.
Okay. No, my kids, they even write notes in it, and I'm just like, "Please don't. Please don't.
No.
Please, for the love of God." Like, so, like, no, I there was one that my daughter had for some ice cream social, and I had a whole different I thought it was something completely different, and she's like, "No, but that's actually really good." I will, like, start
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm that person that like I nickname my friends' kids because I have a hard time remembering names. Like my daughter has a friend that I don't she's been her friend for 13 years, right? I've met her multiple occasions, but I call her SpongeBob. And she's like, I'll be like, you can't go out with SpongeBob this week. And my husband's like, you gotta stop because if she accidentally calls him SpongeBob.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what's wrong. I have like they even there's this guy that's been in her life that's a friend too that he thinks he's really suave, so I called him Rico Suave, and he actually likes the nickname.
Oh yeah.
Can't remember
But
his name. I'm
he
really bad.
will give him a nickname because he's actually very good at knowing names. My son is a lot like my husband, so he's very extroverted, very like over the top, wants to fun and play, I mean, like that. My daughter's like me, introverted, off to the side, looking, everybody at karate scared of her.
That's awesome. I was like, that's awesome. That's a great achievement. I
I,
want to be.
I don't know
Think
why.
about how cool that is. Like you walk in the karate room and everyone's like, you just flinch, you flex, and they all flinch. I will flex all the time
She's like,
because
and they're all scared of me. Like, What kind of reputation do I have?
Tell her to start flexing. Just be like, "What?" Just
Shake
and then record it for me.
the corner, like, I'm just doing what I'm, whatever I'm told or whatever. But when it comes to like sparring and stuff, her dad is like, listen, this is not a joke. Like, you need to know how to defend yourself. So when it's
Yeah.
sparring, you have to do it like for real. So at one point in time, there was a couple of black belts that had to do this activity where you have to grab the kid and like pass a certain line. They had to go.
Mhm.
And if you get past the line, it's the white van. Like you're in the white van, you're in trouble.
No,
Right?
I after you're done, I'll tell you a story about the white van.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Grabs her and to try to like that. My girl has got like long legs. She was a dancer before she did karate, so she's got these long, strong legs.
She's like, "I'm not getting in that van."
Saw it as soon as it started happening. He goes, "Boy, you better let go. She's going for your stuff," and she,
I'm
bam.
not mad at her though, because I mean, that he should've yeah, I'm not mad at her.
That's her initial thing is to kick.
Yeah.
So even when she's doing it with Sensei, and he's like, whatever, and he grabs her like out of nowhere, whatever kind of thing, she gets out and then she starts kicking. That man is black, but he has
Yeah.
some purple bruises on his shins.
Yeah, do not comply. Do not comply. You fight. No, I like see, Faith is different. Faith and Hope and Kendall, my 3 kids, I tell them whenever they see a white van to be cautious, but it was as a joke. See, I'm really, really sarcastic. Like, so my husband sometimes takes exactly what I say at face value. He can't tell when I'm being sarcastic or not. So, like, Hope gets the mail and was like, "Dad, I seen one white van by the mailbox," and he's like, "What?" She's like, "I didn't get in. I'm just saying I see the white van." Like, no, for the love of God, can you stop? Or like, she'll be like, "I seen like 2 white vans at the school," and I'll be like, "Right." And I was like, "Did they have puppies? Because that's how they lure you in." Or
No,
like
my daughter tells me I'm not allowed to park next to vans. It doesn't matter what color they are. I cannot park next
I
to a van.
mean, that is a good stealing tactic. Like, I've seen it in a lot of shows where, like, the person's going
No,
into the car, then the van door opens, and that's it. I mean, I think it was even on Bones.
yeah,
I love that
it's woo.
show.
She's she's
Yeah,
a
puppies, man. I'm telling
she
you.
doesn't do anything to any of these kids, but she has a reputation of being hard because she's got the face like her mama,
I would literally, you should just tell her to flex in class just to see if anyone flinches. I pure
but
curiosity.
and she's
Yeah,
she's taller than me.
you gotta yeah, creepy van. So Hope now thinks Scooby Doo is based off of kids being kidnapped because of vans. Because I always talk about vans, and I was like, you know what, dude, you should write a comic or like do a cartoon based off of these.
Growing,
Like, this is their imagination to get out of their place, but this van is very real. It's
yeah,
like,
my daughter was scared.
I would just be flexing. If I was your daughter, I'll just be in there like, hey everybody, what are you doing today? Like, just see if they're like I'll be like, "That is awesome. You need to film this."
Scared of Scooby Doo. She's like, it's a talking dog.
Yeah, dude. Everybody else is listening to this dog and responding. The jig is up. They're not there.
She was terrified of it for a long time, and then when her brother came around, she wasn't as bad because they were 5 years apart.
Mhm.
So when he got to the age where he started watching Scooby Doo, she wasn't as scared because she was a teenager by then.
Yeah, no, only one that likes Scooby Doo was my son, and he was like 2 and 3, and he'd be like, "Mommy, I just watched Scooby Doo," and it was I was like, "What? This old man saying he would have got away with it if it wasn't for your kids?" He's like, "How did you know?"
You meddling kid.
I would film him because like every day he would come to me and I'll be like, "It was an old man, right?" How did
Yep.
you know? It's always an old man that's meddling with high school kids every single time.
Meddling kids. Mm.
Yeah, but so, all right, we got off way off topic. So, what weekend
Good. How are you? Thank you.
what
So
weekend?
I have a window right here.
You're like,
Hi. And
"Mhm."
the delivery people come in, and then I'm like, "Hey," it's like a reception area, like, up here is like a
Mhm.
reception area, and then this is my office, and the studio is set up, and then over there is the the computer station, shipping station over there, and then
Yeah.
behind, like, my extra fabrics that it's like, "Don't touch these."
Holy heck, so Terry.
Anything out there on the shelves, free free reign. You can use it for classes, workshops, whatever. In here, let me see you touch my stuff.
Right?
I've
No,
got
so
of
so
I've
Terry,
got
so when I was younger, I my parents lived we lived in this really cool complex in San Clemente, California, and my friend Andrea was our next door neighbor. We would play outside all the time. Like there was man-made lakes, rivers, or whatever. We would ride our scooters and bikes. One day she wanted to go out with me, but my go outside with me, but my siblings unfortunately got the chicken pox, so my mom didn't know if I had them or not. So she was like, "You have to tell her through the window that you can't go out." And I was like, "I can't go out and play with you." That day, she got kidnapped, and they
help.
never found her.
Oh, that's so sad.
So,
Yeah,
like, that's why I'm really cognizant about things like that because there are
that's
people that just are not good in this world. And if you don't tell your kids and let them know that there's not people that is good, then they're going to go around being kind of innocent and naive. You want to give them that naivety because we're only naive for so
yep,
long before the world becomes cold and dark. But at the same time, you have to warn them,
you
and the only
do.
way you can warn them
Yep,
is by educating them.
yeah. My kid, like, we were never like those parents were like, no. We always told
Yeah.
my kids straight up, especially my daughter. I was like, mm-mm, punch them in their throat.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. My kids are they do not comply. Do not.
They're
That's
gonna
their number one thing is do not
say
comply.
something, question it.
Mhm.
They
Because
always
like some
like, oh, and sensei,
yeah.
and sensei. That's about it.
Yeah, I wouldn't care either. I'm sorry. It's just like life is too short, and I
Yeah.
rather you be armed with knowledge than fall victim to being naive.
Hmm.
Unfortunately, and it's just like that. It's gotta be like that sometime, and that was my experience with it, and my parents sold the condo, like, a few months after that because every day I walked by, I was, like, scared. My mom and dad, like, they kept in contact over the years, and then but no, she was never found. So, I talk about everything with my kids. I'm very open to the point where they're like, "Please stop being so open." Like, but I believe knowledge is power, and we gotta use it, you know?
Like, nobody's business.
You like me, I tell people one of my favorite sewing, tools in the room is hand cream. So Nancy Notions,
I get
she was one of my favorite people to watch. So when she passed away, I legit cried for 2 days. But if you watch any of her videos, she puts lotion on her hand first before she sews. And who else does that is another icon is Biani. Whenever she sews in the beginning of her video, she puts her lotion. Cotton and materials take so much moisture out of our hands. It's really important to rehydrate them when you can. So I do have lotion bottles at every workstation, and yep, lube your hands up, man.
yeah. I have shea butter, like butter, like we call it butter. And then I have this one that's a little bit more like a Vaseline base. It sticks on your hands a little bit better, but it doesn't make the fabric sticky. So
Yeah.
the other one is better for more like smelling better.
I have, like, the
Yeah.
old school,
What what are we asking to see?
I have the old school, like, what I can never pronounce it right. I just had it over there because I was cutting. I also my lotion tin cans double down as pattern weights. So, I'll be like,
They
"Let me
can.
just
The little
put you"
cans. They can.
Yeah, like, I'll get the one in the blue jar, and it's, like, the thickest cream. But I also it doubles down as a pattern weight as well as if I have to round corners. Boom. 3 for 1. Okay.
So Jackie asked, "Can we see? Would love to."
See
What?
what?
And that's what I'm asking. What would you like to see, Jackie? Did I say something that I didn't? It's
Kratom.
my nose. It's right there. I
It
must have a sun burn.
yeah, I don't really try. I try to, even though I walk the dog, I try the the shadiest route. Me
Oh,
and
I
the sun don't really get along.
I can't anymore. After
Mm-mm.
having my son, I get this like heat rash all over my body.
Yeah. Heat rash is real. This is why summer's not my favorite, people. I get that weird chicken rash that's in your, like, elbow pit and knee pits, and I'm like, I'm miserable. I'm absolutely miserable. But, yeah, so it's going to be the weekend of I have my calendar in front of me, I promise you.
The first weekend in June, I think it is.
Yes, if okay, my calendar just decided to do something weird. Okay, come
I,
on. Okay, so, the first weekend in June is the 2nd through the 4th,
yeah, and I know
and
I put it up on the website on Garner Sewing Room under workshops. It's listed there as well.
let me see if I can link you guys.
Yeah, the sewing retreat with Shanova.
I'm really nervous about this,
Yeah,
but
June
I'm excited.
Saturday and Sunday. It's from 10 to 4 each day. And then if I'm not mistaken, Saturday, and maybe Saturday I think is the day we're gonna try to do like a group reservation somewhere to eat somewhere.
That will be on you. I love learning new places to eat. I'm not that person that, like, I love to try new stuff, like, especially food-wise, um, just because.
Yeah.
Ooh, you have rainbow waterproof canvas? Yeah, that's leopard?
Who did what? Oh yeah.
It's like, I'm all supposed to
Yeah.
get you the links, guys, sorry.
Yesterday. I uploaded so many new prints yesterday.
Oh,
Like
that's
today, and
really
I
cool.
there we have if you go over to the waterproof canvas area, you'll see we have a black leopard prints. We have graffiti rose. That one is really cool. I love roses. My grandma, it I had roses all around her house constantly, even dead roses. I love dead roses.
What's your
I
favorite kind of rose? A
I can't
dead rose.
find her.
That's very Wednesday Adam of you. I approve.
Why not throw them away just because they're dead?
I know. Oh
Over to
no,
shop.
I know. I'm not shopping. I noticed it for the first time. I didn't because when you look her up, try this because I think it's just me, but then Kindle says it's not. If I go look up her website on my cell phone, I only can see so much. So if I go into book registration, it only shows the registration. If I go on the tablet, it shows everything underneath. I never seen that waterproof. And if I go on, of course, on a computer, I see everything.
Yeah.
It's the weirdest thing ever. Just like I was telling, I can go live together with someone on my cell phone, but I can't on my tablet. It is the weirdest thing.
No, you can only do it through a mobile device. You
Mm,
laptop, you can't do it through a tablet, you can't do it. It just has to be your mobile device.
mobile, yeah.
Yeah.
They
Now,
wanna see your studio.
StreamYard, which I'm thinking about switching over to StreamYard. StreamYard lets you do it from a laptop, tablet, whatever.
Yeah, I got StreamYard because,
Updated.
I'm gonna I got some because I'm gonna do some sewing live with some people,
Mhm.
and they're all like, "Get StreamYard." It's easier because you can stream to Facebook, you can stream to your YouTube at the same time and see all the different comments. The only issue I see with it, is that if you have to give StreamYard permission, like, you have to say, "My name is Shnova," or whatever, or you'll just say "user" in a comment, but you don't know who's actually commenting. That's the
Yeah.
only issue I see.
With the one in chats with
Mm, yeah. I wind up always hopping over to her Facebook. Yeah, I always wind up hopping over to Kayla's Facebook because not Facebook, YouTube because I see like they never can see me, and even though I always assign into StreamYard, it somehow doesn't. So, but it's still I think it's a really good thing because if you're going to show with multiple people live, everybody can see the information they can upload. Then it just becomes a little bit easier. This is my first time doing it, and I know, this is a permanent facility that does teaching year-round. So, I was actually really excited
Yeah,
because
a
the
few
studio is beautiful.
uh, this weekend we have Brittany with the Emporium
Oh,
coming in,
yeah.
doing the math pack. We switched the pattern up because we weren't really getting that much traction um with the other bag, but the math pack is what we're doing this weekend. And that's both Saturday and Sunday. So you pick the day you want to come. And hers is a 4-hour time slot. So everything's pre-cut for
Ooh,
the for those workshops. We haven't decided if we're doing pre-cut for Shanovas or not because I think you have the option of bringing your own fabric. So that way you
yeah,
can pick your own wax canvas. We'll have the option to add in if you want to purchase the wax canvas from us directly and have it here available for you when you come for the workshop. So that's the only one that's going to be a little bit different because it's also a retreat. It's all weekend. Uh,
yeah.
the shorter 1 day workshops, it's pre-cut kits with all the hardware, everything included. So this weekend is going to be the math pack. Um, Next month, because we're doing this like a once a month kind of thing. Next month we're doing the a Jane Cork wallet with Jessica from So Many Creations.
I love her. She is so unbelievably kind, and she's so
Yeah,
knowledgeable, and
yeah.
I love the fact that she designed
I
some of
watch
her
all
own
her
quirks.
lives on Fridays and stuff, and I go in
Yeah.
and yeah, it's fun.
She's a good being. I like her a lot, and I like her teaching style as well.
Mm-hmm. So she's coming in on a Friday Saturday combination. So that's the 19th and 20th. And then yours and June. So the Sewing with Shinova is June 2nd and 3rd from 10 to 4 both days.
Yes, I'm excited about that.
Um, and in August, the 26th and 27th, we have
Kasaya,
Kasai
right?
from Kasaya Swag coming in to do the Atom Bag by KMD Designs.
That's a good bad, and she's a bag, and she is an amazing teacher. I love her teaching style. She's very like laid
Coming,
back and relaxed.
coming with her too. Um, so they're gonna do the sewing in your room kind of thing that they started trying to do. They're
Yeah,
picking someone here in North Carolina to do that with too.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's I think that's cool. Yeah, Jess is well. One thing, like when I found somehow every time I meet her, like she smiles and laughs. I'm like, I don't know if you remember me. She's like, Shinova, I remember you. um, and that's how it always starts off. But I always gravitate to the cork that she designs without knowing anything else about it. I'm actually going to be I'm doing a tester pattern and I'm going to be using her cork with some cork croc as well. But like her prints that she designs for her cork is they're amazing. They're so beautiful and they just I am you know how I am about cork. I love cork just as much as
And
wax canvas.
her cork. So her class kit comes with her cork. So the question was they asked if you're Shinova, are you ever going to go to the West Coast for any kind of
I'm not too sure. I know Suicide invited me, but during the time that she has her event, I actually am going to be going to Comic Cons and stuff. So they're already prearranged. I'm not too sure if there's going to be anything this year. Um this is my first. So I'm not too sure.
is real. I mean, it really is between because you don't just only teach, you also do shows. So you
Yeah.
do shows for selling your bags and things like that.
Yeah.
So um
Yeah, that's another thing too with this retreat, you can pick my brain with that. You have that full capability. Because sometimes when like, even when I did the live with Lauren, after I was done, I was like, "Oh, I should have mentioned this, this, and this, and this, and this." And, like, we have these 2 days in case I'm like, "Oh, yeah, about labels and barcodes." Yeah. Trust me, I accidentally oversold something on Etsy again and again. A simple barcode in the computer would have,
Mhm. You do not
oh,
have to make Dobby, sweetheart, but I'm still on my live, so sure, but you have to do it in daddy's room, okay?
ooh, I know, I like Oregon. I love it's so beautiful,
In
especially
order
in fall. In fall,
oh,
Oregon.
so what I was telling Shanova and a few other of the instructors is I want to be able to one day go to different shops, like retail, like shops like hot, like even if it's a quilt shop or things like that, and kind of assist them in creating something like what I have in those areas. So I want to
That's
kind of
cool.
mentor and be available to kind of like assist and try to teach them how I have done my business, the pros and cons to different things, the pitfalls, the what's the best way to teach when it comes to beginners and things like that, so that they can offer what I do in different areas. Not necessarily just for the bag making, but even for for beginner sewing and things like that.
Yeah,
Unfortunately and fortunately, a lot of people get a lot of their knowledge from YouTube, which is not a bad thing. I have a YouTube channel. Shanova has a YouTube channel. A lot of us have YouTube channels. But the hands-on approach to learning, um, I feel is needed.
yeah,
Um, our s-
exactly.
I know for me in my local area, there's only two schools that offers apparel, and 90% of it is hand stitching, and most of it is like textile and all this other stuff and lots of other things other than this is how we use a sewing machine. This is how you wind a bobbin,
Yeah,
bobbin, like all those like very elementary school type of things are not being taught anymore.
yeah.
Um, and then even people who know how to do it, they feel intimidated on teaching other people how to do it. So that's my goal. My goal is to start reaching out, getting more people here, obviously, and then um, if someone wants to eventually do something kind of like what I'm doing, kind of mentoring them and opening up something kind of like what I have.
No, I think that's awesome because no, hands-on experience is awesome because for me, I was blessed to have my abuelita teach me how to sew, so I can hem, I can darn, I can do all these things, right? But I get a lot of emails, like at least 3 to 4 emails a day, asking me to teach people how to applique, and I have tried so many ways to have cameras on Zoom, and it's really hard to explain like one thing about knowing your machine, but learning how to when your machine
Yeah.
needle goes all the way down and it's about to rise up is so pivotal in applique. But it's one thing to say it, show it. It's another one to show someone in person so they can know what that feeling is on their machine. Because
Hmm.
once you got that, you're pretty much
Yeah.
almost already there.
Yeah.
So, but it's really hard to I can't I've tried so hard to translate it because I know that's something that I'm known for in the bag community is my appliques. And it's really hard to explain, and it's not that I don't want to, I actually do. I like to see people use this tool because
It
it
can
can elevate your bag.
for sure.
Yeah. So, it's a very weird thing, yeah, and then also wax canvas, I love it. Another video is gonna be coming out this week with wax canvas I made versus the one my husband made and comparing it and showing you the water and everything. I think, in this industry right now I have this thing where I feel like your exterior fabric shouldn't be more than the interfacing you use. So if you're using a batik that costs, let's say, like 6.99, right? Why are you using Decovil Light on it and it costs $12 a yard? So why I'm saying this is that if you think about maybe starting to put money into wax canvas, you can take this fabric where and wax it. Now it's water resistant, stain resistant, and you don't need any interfacing. Um,
Yeah, because it has more structure to it with the wax.
Yes, and, people are more gravitated towards it because now you have this beautiful print that they they can spill Kool-Aid on, and it's just gonna bead right off, and if
Yeah.
they wanna come to you for, like, re-waxing, it's not for a couple of years that they would need to even really have it re-waxing. So it's a good skill set, especially if you're selling custom bags or if you just wanna sell different features at craft shows or leather shows. It's a good it's a good to know the knowledge from the beginning to the end.
Yeah, it definitely is it's a good base to like I said, it's a different tool in your toolbox. It's not
Mhm.
something you may have to use all the time, but when you go to use and reach for it, you know how to use the tool.
Yeah,
That
and that your
oh,
toolbox is super important in sewing.
mhm.
These can make your life a whole bunch of easier if you have little tools. That's why, again, wax canvas, the reason why I've been emphasizing it so much on even on my channel is because when people are like, "What sells the most for you?" I tell them, like, "This fandom sells the most," or "This bag sell," but another weird avenue for me is I have a lot of pull people asking me to make wax canvas messenger bags, um, backpacks, whatever, and it comes from a more masculine party that I didn't even know I had touched on, but it's like a good 35% of my income.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I know that my the sling that I'm gonna be making that weekend, the wax canvas one, if I'm not mistaken, they don't watch my shows anyway, but it's gonna be my secret Santa person. It's
That's so cool.
and he has expressed interest in me making him a sling bag.
There
So,
you
I'm gonna be giving him the
go.
wax sling
Like,
bag.
Merry Christmas,
Merry Christmas.
birthday, happy, all that's yeah, it's a really cool thing, like, my son, he wears a wax canvas, bag, I forgot it's a bag with an S from a Country Cow. I made it's all
Oh,
out of wax.
alone, top
Yeah.
toe.
Yeah, like, he has a backpack with that, and it has leather straps, that's his favorite thing, he loves it, and he actually likes to dress all dapper coordinating with it, so now he asked me for a lunch
I
bag, and
got
then
for my
yeah.
son, but I messed up on the straps.
Yeah, the straps are very complicated. I tested it for that one, but once you get it, you're like, "Oh, this makes sense." Once you get once you got it, like, that's the one thing that I always adore about Country Cow is that she makes me try harder. Like, she pushes me to the next limit where I didn't think I was gonna be able to make it, and then I do, and then I feel accomplished. I
Yeah,
always feel
that's I like that bag. I literally bought that pattern for my son's book bag,
yes,
and
both
then
my
uh,
husband and my son wear it all the time, and then I get orders from other people that when they wear it, because men are like, "I love this look," and I'm like, "It is really dope with we can do whatever wax duck canvas you want, and you can get duck canvas relatively inexpensive. You can even get it at Fabric Wholesale Direct for like 4.99. You get that you can get a lot out of 1 yard of wax canvas. You can get a lot.
oh, yes. Yeah, because I know
Yeah.
you on it,
Yeah,
right?
Joe is amazing. Like, Joe and Adam are just I can't they're probably, like, Showa geeks out about it, it's way too much, but I just first, I love the husband and wife dynamic duo thing. I love the
Mm,
fact that his sewing style and his patterns are so different from Joe's. So, like, the key moth was his design. It doesn't look like something that Joe will make, but because it comes from this masculine figure, like, my husband immediately loved his bag. He was like, "I've been looking for something that will fit my tablet and just all my little stuff," and he
mm,
gravitated towards it. So I love that husband and wife team. I love the fact that they really don't use vinyls. If you look at Joe's materials, they're always organic. It's like leather or mostly wax canvas. They speak about wax canvas more than I do, and just cotton, and it's organic. It's a
yeah,
beautiful thing.
that is organic, it's something natural that you can do that.
Yeah, I keep telling people, I was like, wax canvas seems really expensive at first, but then if you start adding all the interfacing that you have to do, and then on top of it, um, wax canvases age well. It ages so, so well, and if you have to think of, like, seashore men that are catching crabs are waxing their jackets and all or, like, all these different walks of life, wax canvas has been around forever. So
Yeah,
once you learn that skill and you learn how to sew with it, you got a whole you got you're it's a whole 'nother ball game to play with, and I think it's I don't know, you can get I have, like I said, 35% of my revenue comes from, gentlemen that want me to make something out of wax canvas for them.
yeah, yeah. I'm really interested in dabbling in it. I don't think I'm gonna dabble in it too much before you come here, 'cause I don't wanna learn any bad habits. You know, because I tell a lot of my students I have to retrain them on bad habits when they, um, not necessarily because they have no other way, but they learn on themselves, so they're
Yeah.
independent. And I had the same thing because, you know, when I first started sewing, I sewed everything by hand. So hand sewing and machine sewing are different.
Yes, very.
It's very different. So I was scared to death of a sewing machine. The I just remember my father's sewing machine, the older ones, just was
Yeah.
so loud, right?
I'm
It was
like, "I'm
so
good."
loud. Like,
Earmuff it real quick.
I'm scared of loud things.
Yeah.
So lawnmowers, I can't. What are those things in the dish?
Oh, yeah, I get freaked out of those. Kendall's like, "There your hand's not an inch," but I'm like, "But every
Yeah, I can't do
time."
that. The only time I'm ever using a blender is if I'm making margaritas.
Yeah, that's a good use though. Like, I mean, it weighs out the cons
Yeah,
automatically.
and
It's a
after things I
if
will be
I'll be mellow. It's like, yeah, I would do this.
that's
No.
it.
Well, with wax canvas, like I got into it because somebody asked me to they sent me the Deadly Nightshades, the Tulip Pink, the original pirates. And they were like, I want this into a bag, but can you make it wax canvas? And I was like, so I went into this deep dive, and then my husband went into this deep dive, and I practiced on my own Tulip Pink. I realized that people don't talk about the coloring. Your color can go darker or lighter depending on it, and so we figured it out. And then I, it's been ever since we dabble with it. Like I tell people all the time, it is a good selling feature, especially if you're looking for a more organic look and you're not wanting the vinyls, you wanting the cottons and cork. It's
Mhm.
cork and wax canvas together is total chef kiss, man. Total. Like people like the materials.
Yeah.
You're gonna get those people that are gonna want their carbon footstep to be like as much as organic as it possibly can.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
I say go for it. I tell people all the time, try. This one is definitely try. Yeah, my Vitamix, my husband does it, and when he does it, even in the basement, I jump like the Aristocrat. You know how like Marie would just jump up and just like pounce every time because he never warns me. Like he doesn't be like, "Oh, I'm about to put the mixer on." As soon as it happens, every time I get frazzled. I'm just like, I don't like the sound. I don't like the sound. Is there a margarita going in there?
Yeah. I mm-mm. I can't. I don't know what it is. I just can't do without noises.
Yeah,
That's
it
when he
sucks.
asked that when I bought a domestic sewing machine and he taught me how to use a sewing machine. He taught me how to do like read patterns and got a lot of my bad habits. So
Yeah.
my father is the one who taught me, and when he passed away is when I started the studio because I was like, this is like an homage to him. Like I get,
Yeah,
you know,
I think that's a beautiful homage. Like, I think that's why no everyone always asks me why my business name is Nova's Knits. Like, they're like, "That has what does this have to do with bag making?" Well, first, I make a lot of if you follow me on Instagram, you see that I make a lot of pinup dresses. I have an infatuation. My shoe collection will blow your mind alone. But I love making, like, vintage pinup dresses, and then when my husband is able to take me out to a nice restaurant or whatever, I'm nice and dapper. Like, if I was in Florida, I would go to Dapper Day, like, all the time. I love making dresses. But second, my abuelita, she also knitted. So she would always teach me how to knit, and when her Spanglish would be like, "Nova, just pick up your knits." Right? So that's Nova's Knits. It's that simple.
yeah.
So I would, like, leave, like, projects all throughout the house. I was notorious for that. I still do that, actually. We just now call it a UFO, but realistically, I've had this issue since the dawn of time for me. But yeah, like homage to someone is good. So I will never change Nova Knits for
Yeah.
nothing. And the reason why I go by that so Nova is everyone that's close to me calls me Nova.
Hmm.
So I just figured, hey, if I'm gonna do this channel, you're gonna see my good days, bad days, and everything. So call me Nova.
Yeah. It's more like, okay,
Yeah,
nice.
just it's easier too because I think for Shanova, even though to me it's like okay, It it's easy, it's not. It's not an easy name, and it's okay. It's okay. I just wanna make it easier for people and not feel awkward trying to
Mhm.
say it, like, and it's because the only part of my name that's normal is Dawn, like, my middle name, like, but I'm Shanova Dawn, my maiden name is, like, Alcala, and then Mayberry, and everyone calls us Mayberry. So, like, call me Nova.
Yeah. Fun fact. Fun fact. I have no middle name.
What? You should give yourself one, like,
No, I'm not done.
something cool.
Yeah.
Like, wait
I,
for it. You should do it.
what's that?
Like, have a middle name, like, wait for it. No
Wait for
one's Yeah, like, you say your name, wait for it, and then you say your last name. Like, nobody would know except you in the DMV and, like, family, I would
it.
do something wicked
It's
cool.
hilarious because sometimes when I have to like fill out like legal documents, they're like, "What's your middle name?" I'm like, "Don't have one."
Nothing. They're like, "What?"
So what do I put? And they're like, "I guess
Nothing.
NA." And literally, when things print out, it's like Cox slash and
See, but you could be Sandra, wait for it, Cox. Like, there
wait for it.
or you could be like, Sandra, that's what she said, Cox. Like, there you go. Like, I would do something off the wall because then nobody would even really know because no one really uses middle names. I would just do something and be like, Mom, look. And your mom's like, like, best birthday Christmas present ever for yourself.
Yeah, it's hilarious. And I mean, when Nicole was here last month for the Sorona clutch.
Oh
What
yeah, that's such a pretty
not even a clutch, is a crossbody, but when she was here, the whole week, they both classes, she had us cracking up when she would say, "That's what she said."
well, I'm just saying because your last name, that would be perfect. I'm just saying, like, what's your name? Sandra. That's what she said, Cox. Like, you
Cracking up.
have to have a dead straight face, like,
Yeah.
and maybe you could do a Twitch, because it's gonna be hard. I would have like a random last name. Like I would have my mom already knows. I was like, I would probably I've been in love with Ahsoka Tano for like Snips forever, and I wanted to have my middle name as Snips. And she's like, if you change it to Snips Nova, I will murder you in your sleep. I'm like, damn.
But legally, you wouldn't know if I
No,
changed.
you wouldn't know. No, yeah, like, but I went like really boring with my kid's middle name because that's what we're all okay. So like we're in my family, my Hispanic side of the family, like the boys have like Manuel and all that stuff as a middle name. So I went really boring because I named Faith off of Buffy, and I was gonna do 5 by 5. And my mom is like, if you do that again, I'm gonna murder you. I was like, I thought it would be such a cool name.
I
Faith
know
5 by 5. Like, just,
you name me, I get to name my children.
I
Okay.
know but my mom is terrifying. So I just went with her mom because she guilt tripped
Uh-huh.
me in it. Middle name is Naomi. And every time Faith is like, why did you name me that? I want to be like, your grandmother guilt tripped me.
Exactly.
My mom is cold blooded. That little woman,
Yeah,
she's
my
5 foot
mom
nothing. And she is like,
do it with like a straight face. My mom is hardcore.
yeah, hardcore. I'm secretly still afraid of my mom. I'm just gonna, if she's watching this, she'll probably be like, I know.
I was down helping my grand. I was staying at my grandma's house helping her because she's older. She needs 24-hour care. My grandfather had to go to Puerto Rico, so when I was there taking care of my grandma, my mom would come pick us up to take her to doctor's appointments and stuff like that, and everything else like that. I refused to sit in the passenger seat with my mom because literally every time we went anywhere and I was in the passenger seat, she's like,
Oh my god. Yeah, like, my mom also does that
I
thing where, like, she pumps on the brakes, like, you're going in Fast and Furious, and then she puts her arm out, and I'm like, "Oh, so when your arm breaks, I'm still going through the windshield, right, mom? I'm holding the Oh Jesus handles. Please stop."
are
Yeah,
doing it to hold me. She was doing it to slap me. Anything came out of my mouth. She's like, "Pop."
yeah, my sometimes with my mom, I think one of the reasons why my resting face is because of her is because I zone out. Like, so And I think it's a total and that's I think that's why my dad wears sunglasses so long, and this is the reason why. We like she's gonna yell at me, so I'm just gonna like, she's like, "Why do you call them Oh Jesus handles? Because that's what I'm saying in my head when you're doing a California turn. Why, mom? Why?" There okay, so the funniest thing, my mom got a ticket from right? And she went to go fight it. So when they pulled up the ticket information in California DMV thing, there is me holding the handle and holding like the center dash like this. And I was like, yeah, there's you just go ahead and pay the ticket, mom. She was like, no, you could say that you were stretching. I was like, mom, you could see the terror in my eyes. She's bad. She's a bad. I refuse. I'll be like, "Mm-mm. You want to take the bus? Save on gas." Yeah, the "Oh Jesus" handles with my mom is real. Never if you meet anyone named Ursula Calla, do not get in the car with them. I repeat, do not. She acts like she's from the Fast and the Furious. I can do this, mom. No, please, God. Please.
My
I
mom
used to
would have her turn signal on for like ever,
you'd be
and
like,
then
my eye twitches when
just
that happens every time. I'm like, just turn it off, sir.
turn like this.
No,
She drives as slow as can be
no.
in the fast lane.
My mom, we're from California, so first of all, we have California road rage. That is real. Like everyone, no, no.
Oh, he's got road rage.
And then she has. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for everybody that's under 5'2". You guys have Napoleon syndrome, like I have never seen in my whole entire life. And my mom has Napoleon syndrome, and I'm like, all right, so mix that with road rage. Um, Everybody's out to get her when she's on it. Like when Fast and Furious came out, I was like, they must have took my mom's life story and made it into a movie
Yeah,
because
I it's about short people. Short people, we do kind of have like that, you know.
she drives like she'll be in a 45 and a cop will pull her over and they're like, "Ma'am, you know you're going 90? It's only 40 miles per hour higher." I'm like, "Mom, literally, you go to jail right now." And I'm like, "I don't know why you want to do this to me, but it scares me." So yeah, no, I don't drive with my mom. I don't drive with her at all. Like when I she's a scary driver. She road rage. She's that person that goes in and out of different lanes and you're like, we're all going the same direction. What are you doing? Like, that's my mom. 75% sure that's my mom you're seeing in the front. If you can't see a person's head above the steering wheel, that's probably my mom.
Now, come on, Shanova. Now, come on.
She's like, that's my mom. No, no, because you like no when your grandkids are like, no, I'll go look her.
I'm like this with the steering wheel. I'm like,
No, she can't see on top of that. Like she has Coke bottles for glasses. I'm just like, I'm
that's me.
not.
Husband's truck. I'm like,
Oh yeah, like no. See, me and Kendall are completely different. Like we drive differently when we have the kids in the car, but when we don't, like he's like, yeah, you're not on the Fast and Furious show. But what are you doing? Like, cause I could back drive like no one's business. I used to have a lot of fun at Glen, but no, my mom not. Mm-mm,
you learned it from
mm-mm.
the best.
No, I learned okay, so when you live in California, there's this place called Glamis, and people just go, you that's where I learned how to dirt bike ride. That's how all the sports are there. And I would date guys that would swoop up their cars and I learned. But no, my mom, I don't understand how she continuously gets licensed. I was just like waiting for her to be like, they took my license away. And I'll be like, oh man. Thank you. Like, I used to see what I literally this is gonna tell you my age. Whenever I would go in the car with her after I got 19, I'll be like, "Dear God, make me a parent." So I could fly out. Please stop saying Forrest Gump prayers, Shinova. I can't. She's gonna kill me in the car. I know how I'm gonna go. If
Yeah,
it's
that's
not the
like
orca, it's my mom.
if it baby Jesus from tell
Baby
tell.
Jesus. I pray to baby Jesus. No, like none of my I have 2 brothers and a sister, and all of us are like, "Nah, hard pass with mom in the car." So, everything's gonna be on the website. The link that I put up on there, I will also put it in the description box. I can't do that while I'm live for whatever the reason may be. It makes 0
Yeah,
sense.
they will have
Um,
to. description box later. Um,
Orcas and
or
moms, I'm telling you. I'm gonna die either by a killer whale or my mom. Just I'm letting you know. I'd rather go by a whale though, I'm not gonna lie to you. I feel like it'll be faster and then, like, it'll be all over the news, so I'll be somehow, like, idolized for it versus she was killed by her mom. It's not the best look.
that's what I'm saying. I'm taking even if you're gonna go out with orcas.
You know, out with the bang, you know? Not like the guy that did at SeaWorld. Remember there was that guy, he like climbed in and he's like first jumped broke free got into SeaWorld in California. He swam with the manatees at night. They kicked him out. He got served 6 months in jail. When he got out of jail, he was like, "Oh, I want to swim with the orca." And there's footage of him getting like annihilated. This orca like made him a toy. And they actually had to pull the orca out of the water. And this wasn't Shamu. This was actually the biggest killer whale in captivity at this time. At the time, they had to put this thing to get the guy's body because the orca was like, "Nah, he's my toy." It was just flinging his body around. I'm like, what the like. I know weird stuff though. We can have weird stuff Wednesday if you want. Don't ask.
And it's
The
not
weirder, the more. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just trying to figure out how was he not spotted twice on camera? Like there's cameras throughout all these theme parks, right?
yeah,
And
but
they have he jumped over the fence, like he had to jump over several fences. And he was like, "Oh yeah, Shamu or whatever." And like it's a killer whale. There's the reason why their name is killer in the front is they're not dolphin. I know they're related to dolphins and don't trust killer whales, okay?
don't trust the dolphins.
Don't. Mm-mm. They're, mm-mm. There's a reason why they're so smart. I'm just saying. Just throwing it out there.
I went swimming with dolphins though.
I have too. I have yes. Yes, that's the name of the dolphin. I mean the orca. This guy, like you need to read the story. It is the most
No,
craziest thing because the thing is there's so many cameras throughout SeaWorld and they never caught him. They have footage of him going over to the fence at night, right? But then like the pathway to the either the manatees and or the orca thing, there's no footage anywhere in the park.
hmm,
It's the most interesting story. I'm telling you, I should have it Weird
is
Wednesdays.
that history we're listening to?
No, it just I no, I anything with orcas, it automatically gets my attention, and I'll just keep reading articles, and I'll keep diving for more information. Oh,
Yeah,
no.
my attention span isn't that long,
Dude,
unfortunately.
I like the weirder the better. I love listening to weird stories. I don't like weird stories that will, like, make me think, like, the stairs in the different parks all throughout the
Yeah.
US that lead to nowhere, and people go vanish from it, like, that stuff, like, really freaks me out. I try not to do it, but I'm a very curious person. The weirder the better. I'm just saying. Yeah, I told Hope, unfortunately, about the stairs, and she's been researching them. She's like, "Mom, there's so many stories about missing kids in national parks in the US." I'm like, "They don't wanna talk about it. It needs to be talked about." I have another she's curious, everybody else just blows me off. They're like, "Oh, mom and her weirdness," and Hope is like, "Dude, that makes sense." I was like, "Right?"
Yeah, yeah, it's weird.
Yeah, weird. She's out there on Totally Watch Weird Wednesdays. We saw the weirdest things, maybe a UFO, and then we talk about weird and freaky things like no one else is talking about. Let's make it weird. Yeah, but
Listen,
that's
and
the
go
name of the workout.
tangent about UFOs and all kinds of stuff.
Because we still don't have answers. Like, what happened this year alone? Can we get answers?
I
I
don't
mean,
I literally don't even, Google it or look at it or nothing. I'm like, "Okay."
because Kindle didn't even know about it, and then once I told him about it, he's like, "So what are they?" I'm like, one disintegrated when we blew it up and just like and they were like, "Oh, that's normal." And we're like, is it though?"
I mean, I literally don't even watch the news 90% of the
Yeah,
time.
I can't. No, and that now YouTube is getting bad too because if you are a person that listens to true crime or weird stories, what happens is they'll put things on your feed. They'll put like new stuff, and you're like, "I don't want it. I don't want it. I don't want it."
I
Nothing like, it's different if I'm diving for it, but if you feeding it to me, I might be curious enough
I
to look.
think I'm, like, into a camping kick or something now because all my videos either are sewing or camping.
Yeah. I also like watching people in small places making, like, houses out of, like, vans or weird stuff. I don't know why. I will never do it, but I think it's the
I
coolest thing in the world. There's also a guy that I watch that paints shoes, and he doesn't there's no talking. It's just, like, water sounds and whatever. Um,
painting.
yeah, painting shoes, and I like to watch gardening videos because I murder a cactus. Like, I am, like, the worst gardener ever. I want the most ambitious, like, flowers, but I suck
I
at.
told you why I like dead roses, right?
I mean, I you don't have to water them, and they just look beautiful.
They're
I
pr
okay.
have to worry about them.
Yeah, no, nothing to worry about. They're just there and they look beautiful. No. Kindle's really good at gardening. Everything I pretty much suck at, he's really good at.
Yeah.
So, yes. Dude, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. There you go. I'm saying, like, we could have a weird
Or
Wednesday. You
is
I'm
that 'cause somebody
You
forced
okay, there again, the missing stairs, and then there's the missing kids throughout USA that, like, and it's still something that happens on a daily basis. It's, like, freaky things that happen, and then, again, no one's talking about, like, boats that just disappear. There's, like, 2 American boats that disappear every year, and we're just like
boats?
and planes. There's so many things in California alone, um, that you can't go to. You're not allowed to go into. Just like there's I'm just saying, it's
Yeah, I'm not visiting California anytime soon.
I like California. I don't feel like the
I'll say
cost of living.
knows what to avoid.
I was born and raised in California. I just think the cost of living is ridiculous, and I understand because there's so many people there. It makes sense to raise the prices, but, like, there's, like, 3 taxes on water alone. Water.
What?
Yeah. Water bottles. Like, so what costs 99 cents for you and me, it's like $1.38 for somebody and or
We
almost $2 because there's so many different taxes. That
I
alone should, like,
forget
be
it.
like, yeah, nah, because like, there's no food tax out here. You're if anyone in Maryland, you know that we have no food tax, so we can get water, food, and there's no taxes on it. Yeah. Yeah, then that like, it's yeah, the missing kids ones, the reason why I listen to it because I feel like it is somehow weirdly informative, so I can try to transpire things to my kids. But mostly these national you just look up national forest kids missing and you'll just be like, "What the how is this not all over the news?" Like, it is the craziest thing. It's kinda like these things that we blew up that we have no idea what they are. Like,
Mhm.
they get avoided, we don't know, and then I feel like they inundate us with what they want us to hear, but not necessarily what we need to hear, if that makes sense, without being too conspiracy theory. It's just like, I don't know, that's why I read weird stuff. Yes. Yeah, that's the part that sucks because, like, when I lived in California, I remember, like, going to the grocery store and getting Hope or I mean, sorry, Faith a bottle of water, and it'll be, like, 3 taxes on it, and you're just like, "It's a lot." The gas is higher, the mortgages are higher, the association fees are higher. It's a lot. It's a lot to do. And but if you've been there all your life, you love everything that's at your fingertips. You have malls, you have like all the big names of businesses like have branches, huge branches within there. So it's like and beachfront property. You can't if you love the ocean and I do, it's it's the place to be. But it's just the cost of living is just ridiculous to me. Just kinda like I know like New Yorkers say, like, you're paying for all the of what you could do outside of your house, not what you actually can do inside.
The conveniences of different things.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, because they have, like, the best subway systems and things like that. Even California has decent subway systems too. Those
Yeah. They have, like, Rams and, like, weird stuff, but mm, Look, everything in California takes forever to get to. Like, I when I lived I was born and raised, I did Orange County. My parents were always Orange County people, but then when I lived on my own and I was going to Cal State San Bernardino, I lived in Chino Hills, but my job was in Aliso Viejo, and it would take me literally 2 hours and 30 minutes to get there and come home, and it's like, realistically, there was no traffic. I can get to point A to point B in, like, 30 minutes. The traffic and the pollution is insane, and, like, right now, they're, like, suffering every time it rains, they're having, like, landslides and all this stuff like that because they're so used to being in drought. Um, it's just a very it's just a very it's a weird area to be in. Like, and it's kinda crazy because, like, the areas around it, the states around it, like, what you can get in California as a house in, like, let's say, Arizona, you can get, like, a dang near mansion in Arizona and have more property and have less taxes and
Into. Yeah.
yeah. So it's just a very it's very weird. It's a very weird scenario. Yeah, the traffic, yeah. I see well, you know what's crazy? When I first went to New York out here, we were in the, New Jersey Turnpike, and I was smiling the whole time, and my friend was like, "Nova, why are you smiling?" I'm like, "This feels like home." Like, I like, what people think is traffic out here is, like, nothing to me. So, when I went through the New Jersey Turnpike and people were, like, honking, cussing each other, I was like, "This feels home to me. I miss home." And my mom's like, "That something's wrong with you." I was like, "It just I haven't seen traffic
Yeah.
for like that in like 13 years."
Mhm. We're getting a lot of people who are moving down from New York
Mm.
and, like, the DC area in North Carolina.
DC's traffic is ridiculous. It's not I mean, again, it's not California or even New York. But they have okay, if you're from California, DC is like Pasadena. And if you know Pasadena, Pasadena is one-way streets, which makes everybody's life a living
It's really
a
hard to get for.
Yeah. And it's DC, so everyone's there to do things that are like Smithsonian, seeing the White House, do national parks, all this stuff, and everything is like one-way streets, and you're just like,
Yeah, yeah, my daughter did a her first 5K in DC, and
"Mm,
you had to walk 2 miles just to get to where the starting line was for the 5K.
yeah." It's
So my
whenever
husband
I have a lot of expos out there, and whenever it is, I'm just like I tell Kendall because technically DC is only like a 35, 40-minute drive away from my house, but because getting into DC takes everything, like, I always get a hotel. I'm just like, I'm not gonna deal with it because what happens is that bad day will reflect the rest of the day for me, and I'm there to sell. So I wind up getting it and especially because it's like the center is right next to the, like, the big Apple store, buy all this stuff that's really big, and I'm just like, "The tr you pay, like,
yeah, when you have to
27."
you really have to just be in DC because it's
Yeah. It's
hard.
hard. Like, they DC is really made for people that don't have a car because even their price for parking, it's just no, it's just not.
It's
I mean, the things I've seen it going into DC, like, I kid you not, the first time I went to DC, I was going to a convention with a friend. We were spotting it out and we were staying the night. Right when we drove into over the bridge, we seen a policeman. They were going across the street, and this is how long this light took. He had a freaking machine gun, but no body armor. And we're like, what is going on? I still don't know the rest of that story. I looked and looked and looked, and Kendall was like, that's DC. And I'm like, no, that can't be a norm. Hi, I'm a police officer. I'm holding a machine gun, but I don't even have a helmet on, sir. So what is going on? I was like, yeah. She was like, yeah, DC's not the safest place. It kind of reminds me of Hollywood. Like in Hollywood, there's like expensive, luxury, gorgeous houses. You go one block, you're in like
mhm,
this hood area that if you blink, your car is stolen. That there's certain parts of LA that's like that. That's DC for you. Oh yeah, and go around. Not even mad because they have a two lane. Why do you have a two lane to go into DC? I would like to understand this. So, and DC people are a whole different ball game from Maryland to New York. It's It's a whole different
Definitely different. It's
different vibe.
a whole nother, like, world.
Yeah, even though the world's
Florida.
inside Maryland, it is the weirdest thing. It's a whole different thing. So, all right. Oh, I'll ask this question: if somebody's like, "Hey, I can't pay up front now," could you do down payments, or just out of
Yes.
curiosity?
It's already set up on payment plans, so it has, like, I think 4 payments. So you put a deposit, hold your spot, and then after that, it's scheduled to come out.
Okay, I didn't know that, so I'm glad you explained that.
Yeah, 'cause
Yeah,
a pretty decent amount. I think it was like 285,
yeah,
and that it it's a decent amount. It's not cheap, but it's not like crazy expensive either. But yeah, we have it so you can put down a deposit to hold your spot. I think it's $50 deposit, and then from there, you could pay for it. Now, oh, thank you. And then also, just note the deposit is non-refundable. So if you put the $50 deposit down and you just can't make it, you forfeit the $50 because you held up a spot that somebody else could have. You know what I mean? And because
yeah,
it's some people are coming in from out of town and things like that, even if we do have a wait list, that person may not be able to come.
yeah. Because it could be last minute or whatnot.
Uh,
What day are we going on our field trip?
Field trip is on Sunday, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay. And then you're
And
saying lunches are included in snacks.
because we got church next door
Mm. Oh yeah.
and they take over the parking lot.
Oh. Whew. So you have a block. If you don't have to stay at the hotels that are blocked, but there is a block hotel.
There is a room block, yes, but
Yeah,
you don't have to stay at the hotel. It's just a cheaper. Thank you.
because it's the start of summer.
Yeah, it's a discounted rate. You have until May
Mm, come on.
10th
Okay.
to book your reservation. You could book your reservation, and if for whatever reason you can't make it, you can cancel it. And there's no penalty. It's just like reserving a regular room.
Hmm. Okay. And then you're saying lunch and snacks are included.
Lunch and snacks are included both days.
Okay. And then we may do a dinner on Saturday.
Hmm. We may, and that'll be at your own cost where we go. I'm gonna try to do something that's kind of like Carolina off, like Carolina barbecue kind of style.
Okay.
Anybody has
Got
any
that bourbon.
like you're a vegan,
Hmm.
let me know. They do have vegan options in
Okay.
Carolina places, but not all of them.
No, 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 no. I think that's good for a restaurant to be that open to everyone's needs. I always appreciate that.
Yeah,
'Cause you never
I
know.
bring in a bunch of stuff and people like I don't eat that kind of thing. You know what I mean? I need to know.
Yeah. And yeah, I 100% on board with that.
I was vegan
Um,
a long time, but it was more because my body couldn't handle meat products. I couldn't handle cheese. I still can't handle cheese. Milks can't do it. A lot of things I couldn't like. I can barely do chicken once in a while.
I like just a little bit, just a little bit. I get it. No, I get it. Like it's good. I like when restaurants are accommodating to everyone.
But I definitely
Um, Okay. And then so we're going to be making the sandhill tote and then we're a sandhill sling and we're going to also be doing some applique. We're gonna do a letter. You could put it on your bag or we could put it on something else, but that way you can get some of the tips and tricks that I have for doing applique. And we're going to go at a whatever your pace is. So
mhm,
like one day will be like lining, the next day will be like putting the bag together because the bag again has a lot of different components. So you can come saying, "Hey, Shanova, I really want to practice binding. I want to make mine's binding," and then we can show you what our tips and tricks for binding is. If you're like, "No, I'm afraid to drop in linings, but I want to learn how to, to
yeah,
overcome that," we're here to do it that way. Like if you
mhm,
want to birth it, you could birth it that way too. So I that's the reason why I wanted to do that bag is there's three different ways. And there's always somebody that like if you're like me, I do get a little reluctant when it's drop in, but then I get excited because it's something I'm afraid of that I'm gonna overcome this.
Yeah,
And the only way I can is by trying. Um,
exactly. Yeah. And
so like we could do it whatever which way you want. And working with wax canvas is fun. I think it once you work with it, it's gonna be hard for you not to work with it or make your own. I know a lot of us have like Tulip Pink, Alexander Henry. We have all these different beautiful fabrics. And the thing is that the reason why people go to vinyl or waterproof canvas is because of what it implies. It's water resistant. It's tough exterior. So what now if you have an idea to make your cottons that you love and you stash the same thing? Water resistant, dust resistant, and you won't need interfacing. So these are just little things to think of. Um, and I think it's really cool because, like I said, the possibilities are endless and it looks great.
we're limiting it to 14.
14,
14
because I'm the 15th.
because you're this.
I'm the, I'm the 15th person. And then you could just pick my brain if you want to ask questions about expos, selling at craft shows or whatnot, or how I like Etsy, what I would regret or do differently from Etsy. This is why I'm here for. Yeah, I did Baymax. I do
I
that all the time.
do, so you
Yeah,
pick.
pick her
I,
brain about brick and
I
mortars and
had my studio, and I've been
yeah.
at my studio for 7 years now.
Oh yeah, pick her brain.
10 years I've been on Etsy. I'm grandfathered in with like before all the BS that they're doing now. I'm
Yeah,
grandfathered.
and I'm not one weird person because for some other reason my shop always gets to do the testing thing. So I get to do tools before they're set out. I have no idea how I got there, but I like we usually
For that because I don't want to change nothing.
well, the thing is that a lot of things change. I actually like the Star Seller program, and I know a lot of people don't. But once I explain everything to you on it, then you're gonna be like, "Holy, that makes sense." Because once you're a Star Seller, you're now on front of pages for anyone else. So if someone's like, "Oh, green
Yeah, I was
Chewbacca,"
Marcella, but I don't know how I did it because I just do what I normally do.
yeah, and that's good. That's the point. Because there's so many people that don't
Yeah,
do what they need to do. Like there's people that wait to the last minute to print shipping orders and then don't ship them out for like 4 days. There's a lot of, weird things that people can do.
yeah.
And you have two people that out on Etsy. We could talk about Shopify. We could talk about a lot of different things, having Facebook
I
group.
have Shopify too for my
Yeah.
website.
And I sell from on Instagram all the time. So
Don't
if
do that.
you're
But
ah my thing is that if you have put little things on Instagram as like if I do a reel, like my Wanda bag sold because of the reel. Somebody from Kentucky seen it, they messaged me, and then I set up them to do Square or PayPal.
that's crazy. Like I don't do much on Instagram.
Yeah, I do. I do reels because that's the reason why they have the little
On with
things that reels.
Shopify.
I I'm not okay. So I feel like if you're a blogger, if you're a vlogger and a blogger, that person that wants to talk about techniques but you're better in writing, Shopify is your key because not only can you have a shop, but you can do like, um, this is how I bind, or this is the tool I use to flatten seams without an iron, and explain why it can get more traction. And I do believe sewers buy from other sewers because most of my bags that I test, people purchase from on Facebook that are other people that are sewing in the same groups. They just don't want to make the bag and they just want mine. So
All that headache when yours is done and it's good,
yeah,
and
it
I can
just
support you.
that's why I'm like, okay, cool. But that's how I feel like Shopify is. I feel like if you have a bigger thing, like if you have a bigger thing where like you're doing like you're selling waterproof canvas and all this stuff, I feel like it's bigger. But if you're like just a bag maker like me, it's not the best because the SEOs and the CEOs and all that stuff like that are completely different, and it's harder to explain it to someone, again, via camera versus
A lot
I
of
could
ways
show you.
to buy.
Yeah, like, when I'm there, I could bring out my tablet, I could show you what I have and what kind of SEOs and CEOs I use for Etsy and what kind of hashtags I use because we're there, so you can look through my accounts with me, versus here, I'm, like, showing you the screen and it looks backwards, and it's a whole thing. There's some things that are better done in person, and just so that you can get a better understanding. And I'm always going to be willing to give out any information I possibly can because I want everyone to succeed. So this is going to like double down if you're a person that's been trying to if you're a person that's been wanting to try to know more about Etsy or Shopify or Instagram or whatever, this also might be the workshop for you. You get to experience how to make a bag without interfacing, which might be cheaper than you think and what you're currently making. And you might go to a different audience that are like, there are a lot of people. I had a lot of people, especially at Comic Cons. It's one of the funniest things. I'll be like, yeah, it's vinyl, it's, faux leather, and they're like, yeah, I want this in real leather. I will pay for it in real leather. Let's do this. I That is actually becoming more and more and more. I had someone lecture me about the fabric industry's cotton waste in the landfill and how we're the most wasteful. Um, and that's what actually started triggering me to start doing cork and more just earth friendly materials. And someone also brought it to my attention like when we're burning those ends on vinyl, what kind of fumes are we smelling? What are we inhaling in? And I was like, damn it, stop making me think. Like I didn't want to think.
I just like the pretty. Leave me
It's
alone.
so pretty. It had like a weird cool texture. Just leave me alone.
Yeah.
So it's just something to think about. And that's what it is. I am shy, but when I'm in a smaller group of like-minded people, I love to talk because I love to hear what you have to say. And if I'm able to help in any shape or way, I definitely want to.
My nail just broke some.
Yeah.
Cutting my nails this way. Clips. What did she say? I couldn't read it. It went away
Yeah.
too.
So what does not break down, unfortunately, yes. Vinyl does not break down in the landfills at all. At all. But cork and cotton, they do. So they were showing this documentary about like cotton lycra and like just all this different stuff. We are our The fabric world is unfortunately heavily part of the landfill problem in our the United States and pretty much all over the world. So if we're able to do like small little changes like doing wax canvas, um they're getting the benefit of it being waterproof and having more durability, and they're also getting the benefit of you have more variety to offer your customer because there's so much more in cotton than there is in vinyl.
Sorry.
Something
My assistant came through here and she's giving me the eyes. I'm giving her the eye
like
back.
you like, "I see you." Yeah, so just it's cool. That I think that that would be the cool thing that we get to all discuss that. And again, going to Tandy Leather is cool. I Every time I go in there, I feel like it's like Toys R Us for me. Like it's always the coolest thing. And I to go with a couple of like-minded people. You never know, you might be able to pick up something, and that's what we're gonna cut out and use as your applique on the bag just as an accent feature. And I think it's a really cool idea.
I think so too. So a quick recap, and then we'll close it down. The weekend is June 2nd and 3rd. And what the emphasis of the we're making is a retreat. So it's 2 full days. You get snacks and lunch included for both days. You get the pattern. You're bringing your own materials unless you purchase that as an add-on. And we are making the Sandhill Sling bag by Noodlehead. And Shinova's going to go walk through how to use the wax canvas, the benefits of using the wax canvas. We're going to do things, but in small chunks and pieces. You learn at a smaller pace. It's limited to 14 individuals, so it's a small class setting. Um, with real a huge room back there. I wish I could show you, but I have kids back there, so I don't want to do a live
Yeah,
huge area, plenty of room to spread out, lots of table space and things like that. You're going to have the ability to just kind of pick our brains and see how we do things, how Shinobi does things, how I do things, um, get our expertise on different materials, waterproof canvas. is the lining, correct? We're doing the waterproof
You could
canvas.
do waterproof canvas or you could do duck canvas. I don't know what it is about Noodlehead, but whenever I do her pattern, I try to do as much like similar to her. Like, I don't know. We could do
Okay.
duck canvas and which duck canvas, if you have really good duck canvas, it is actually water resistant.
Okay.
Even Emmeline Bags sells duck canvas for you too. That is water resistant, and you can play with it. You can put it over the sink, and you can see the water bead right off of it. It's a beautiful thing. And yes, if you wax cotton, it becomes like wax cotton or wax canvas. The canvas usually comes from if you're waxing canvas, like duck canvas. But wax cotton has a lot of durability. Like, I'm talking about, like, 2 layers of Shed Flex, 101. And then on top of it, every time it crinkles or wrinkles, it has, like, its own design and own pattern. It's pretty cool. And then once you start doing it, like I said, if you're a Tula Pink lover and, like, you're like, "Hey, I wanna sell bags with this, but they're saying I don't wanna make it a machine washable," then maybe duck can like, waxing is good, and then mix
Yeah.
it with some cork or leather.
Yeah. So you can have the benefits of using um wax canvas or wax cotton
Mhm.
fabrics. I'm not sure if we'll get into a demonstration and how to maybe do a little small swatch.
I could probably yeah, I could do that. I could show you how to I break it down because I'll show you what I can do is I could bring a block and show you how to re-wax certain areas because during years I have a wax canvas bag that's 5 years old that I never had a re-wax, but I have one that's 3 years old that I use like on a daily and where there was the crease, I noticed like the wax wasn't doing them as much. You can actually use your hands, the heat from your hands to do it, but sometimes I'll get a wax bar and I'll re-wax that one spot and it's
Yeah.
good. It's like it's good you're golden because it's already done it. So I can bring that and do demonstrations as well as I can ask Kendall to see if he can make a custom video for this class that we can maybe present because he's the one that usually does all what I'll
You
be
do.
like, "Hey,"
Yeah.
I'll be like, "You need to wax this canvas for me real quick, thanks." He's
Mm-hmm.
like, "Okay." He has all his little tools and,
Yeah.
like, it's he's like, "Yes." I actually did the one, the paraffin and, um, I forgot what other material, the other day, and I have to upload that video too because 'cause I'm trying different waxing, but I think it's something that we definitely as sewers should look into, because it's domestic friendly. Again, if you're watching a noodle head or if you're watching Joe and she's using a domestic machine.
Yeah.
They're using a domestic machine. It's domestic friendly and it has this lush look to it. It is one of a kind because no matter if you make 5 bags the exact same color, the way the bag crinkles, wrinkles will never be the same as the
It's
other.
for sure.
Yeah,
Mhm.
very,
Yeah.
very, and it's like something just something I look at, and a lot of designers are like starting to gravitate. That's why you see so many shops starting to carry it wax
Mhm.
canvas, because like, even today on my live, someone was like, Did you try the wax canvas for my handmade space?" I was like, "No." I placed the order and I realized that they had it afterwards, so that next time I place the order, I'll get it, but this is there's a reason. It
Yeah. For
it's it's
popularity. Sure.
yeah, you're not only having your carbon footprints being better, but then also you're having actually more variety, and I don't know, it's pretty amazing. Once you start, you're gonna be like, "Holy moly, I don't wanna stop."
Yeah. You'll get addicted to wax canvas.
Like pork. Like
All right. So let me think. What do we have the okay. So Saturday, Sunday from 10. I gotta look at my flyer and my things down. Hold on. All right. So workshop dates are Saturday, June 2nd and June the 3rd from 10 to 4. Saturday and Sunday includes snacks and lunch. And then on Sunday, we are going to be doing the field trip to Tandy Leather. And you're going to learn about all fun things with leather.
Oh, yeah, because then you get to see leather splitters, all the stuff. They have so much stuff, and they're so willing to show everything. That's why I always love going there. I'll be like, "Can I see the leather splitter?" Like,
Like,
the strap one is amazing. When they do the straps and they do that edge, you have to be there to see it. Like, it's a really cool way they do leather straps. So once you go there, you're like, "Oh my god, It's adult Toys R Us, people, I'm letting you know. I'm letting you know.
It
And
is.
they also have their own Tandy Leather has their own, walking foot, uh, industrial, free arm machine as well.
They do. They do. They do.
I think it's called a Cowboy?
Yes, the
And
cowboy.
there's a couple of
Like,
people that make really nice bags that use that, and they're just, like, best thing in the world.
yeah, they are. Let me think. What else can we think about that weekend? Oh, we do have the room block with the Hilton, the true Hilton Hotel here in Garner at 159 a night. Once you register for the class, you can put a deposit down for $50 and then installments thereafter. So you don't have to pay the full 285 at once. You can get that broken into installments, and that holds your spot. So it's a non-refundable deposit because you're holding a spot. And then I think the balance is due 2 weeks prior or like a week prior or something like that. Like it has to be paid in full like a week before. And come and hang out with us and have some fun. If you if you love Shinova, you'll love coming to this workshop for
I
sure
think
because
it'll be fun.
it's very informative, fun. Um,
You get
and
2 people that are that sell that that alone. I wish somebody would have told me that in the beginning. Like, I would have loved to go to a retreat where someone's like, "Yeah, I sell on Etsy." I have a million questions.
exactly. I have a million questions about Etsy. Yep. So pick our brains about that. And come and have fun with us. We
Yeah,
like
food. You know,
to chat.
I'm gonna have some candy somewhere. Just be
Yeah.
prepared. I don't just talk about it. I live the life of candy. I feel like I should fulfill that.
A
It's
licorice.
like I love can well, I like licorice too. It's not black licorice though. I don't know what's wrong. Like you like okay. I was like, don't eat it. It's not
Here all
mm-mm.
the time.
No, no.
We have like baskets of it right outside.
That's because people don't want it. They don't like give me a red wine. Just no black licorice.
No,
Are
no, no.
there like
I'm talking about just candy and period.
oh yeah, I like candy. I love candy. I literally think I make pockets and bags just for candy.
Yep.
Like, I live for it. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, it's an amazing thing. It's
So,
yeah, I will pop some sunflower seeds with you. I love sunflower
yeah,
seeds.
yeah. Look,
See? You know it.
this is like
Now,
time
just
to
know it
sunflower seeds and walnuts and pistachios and all kinds of stuff.
like
My
see, I
daughter
like
and she's like, "You need to eat."
be like no, it's pretty to look at, but you don't eat it. It's because like it's poison. I feel like it's why. I remember my grandmother tried to give me one. I'm like, hard pass. It smells like medicine. It just
Smells like medicine and burnt rubber.
it's like, "Are you trying to put me to sleep? Why are you giving me this poison?" Mm.
Mhm.
Yeah, so I'm glad we're on the same page with that, and we should be fine because that's the only thing I revolt against. I just like, "No,
I don't.
I feel food is life." Yeah.
Yes,
I'm coming I want some of that North Carolina barbecue sauce. I've never actually had any, but I feel like I will love it.
it's
Yeah.
really, really good.
Jada, you just messed up my lunch, thanks.
It's what
No,
converts
it's
from being
like
a into being a Carolinian peer person.
I I'm telling you, I have things I'm earmarking. There's some North Carolina hair products that are me made out there that I've
Mhm.
been always wanting to try, and I'm like, "Yes." If you haven't, I'm also I love natural hair products, and it's like I'm a junkie for it. No matter if I get the same results or not, I will tell you, be like, "Yeah, this hair product is life. This is garbage." Like
My hair looks no different.
it
I'm
looks
trying.
no different. No, it's no different from the other one. Someone asked me that too. They're like, "What hair products?" I'm like, "You would have to ask me on Sundays because that's when I do my hair." So
It's like I
I
don't know.
promise, I promise to have my hair done for you guys in North
Yeah,
Carolina.
yeah. You have to.
No.
I literally just slick mine back and like,
I can't like I wear it out so much that if I try to put it in a ponytail, I start getting like a headache. So like if you ever see me in the mornings and I have my hair's in a scarf, that is just me putting it up without getting a headache. I can do also a pencil hold, and my daughter's secretly jealous of me of that. Like, I can wrap my hair in a pencil and it'll stay there, and she's like, "How the"
Yeah. My daughter can do that with her hair. I
Yeah.
I no longer am able to do that. I used to be able to, but my hair is thinned out so much after having my 2 kids. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I probably can hold a beach umbrella. So, she was like because, like, that's it, I don't put anything in I don't put it like, I don't my serious thing is she calls me the Baudelaire because, okay, you guys already know how I feel about twill tape. If I have a piece that is longer than 12 inches, it's somewhere on here, and if I'm getting serious, I, like, do this and I tie it to the hair, and she's like, "Okay, I guess this is strange and fortunate events." I'm like, "I've been doing it before these books, okay?"
Yeah.
Yeah, the ponytails give me a headache, like, I feel like the older I get, like, I could tie it once, I'll be like, "My head is gonna explode."
Yeah.
And
I've been a ponytail gal for a long time. Like the messy bun kind of thing. That's me. Just throw up in a
yeah,
messy bun. Um, I'm
I
always
do
high. I'm
yeah.
like high. Like I'm about to turn on the air conditioning here, and these kids are gonna like freeze to death because I'm having hot flashes like nobody's business.
Oh, you have no idea. Like, okay, so my hair protects the back of my neck because I get heat rash on the back of my neck. So it's like its own UV ray protector. So I'll be like, keep if when I have bangs, 'cause normally I don't do bangs, I just like have a weird side part and let it go peacock style. That's because it's now spring and summer. I need this to shield my face. I have these massive black glasses, this big dog on barking, and then like my hair is like enveloping my face, and I'm like, I don't look approachable. But the kids always are the ones that know. I have
Paparazzi getting hurt.
oh my god, the kids always come up to me, "I wanna pet your dog." Like, kids, like, literally make me smile because they see past what we don't wanna see. Like, kids always come up to me, they're not afraid of me, they don't think I have resting bee face. So I know it's not me, it's adults because kids come up to me all the time. And I like kids. I think kids are just tell us the truth of what we don't wanna really see. They see life in a whole different way.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, my hair, like, once if I pull down a curl, you'll be like, "What the hell?" Like, my this is an illusion. Curly hair girls out there all around the world know what I mean. Like, from what I get out of the shower from this, it's a whole different ballgame. Like, Hope is
Oh yeah,
her hair
definitely.
to here, and then when I try to straighten it, it was past her knees. It just
It's
you
like
just yeah, that's why I always say, "You have curly hair, cut it dry," because you don't know what the shrinkage is gonna be. So let me know what it looks like. Dry. Don't cut it when it's wet. I'm like, "Oh, it's cute. Oh my god, why is one side like this?"
I
That's
I
happened to me.
if I that's the first thing I ask someone when I go to a hairstylist. I was like, "How do you cut curly hair?" They're like, "Wet." I'm like,
I'm
"Bye.
out.
Peace."
You know nothing about curly hair, sir.
You have to try.
You have to have it dry. And,
And
I and then I like shaping. Don't flat iron my hair and say you're gonna cut it. That's not how I wear my hair. You have to do each individual curl. It's gonna cost a lot, I already know. I know, but I'd rather have you do it right than me, like, trying to figure out, how do I hide this for 6 months?
with what is going on, Markia?
I
She's
wear
so
a messy bun, it's usually tied with tape. I'm not lying to you when I wash my hair, the things that come out last Sunday, which was a couple days ago, I had a seam ripper come out of my hair. Now, here's the thing, I was looking for this seam ripper, and I guess, well, knee-jerk reaction, you will see in person that I always stick things in my hair. So many Wonder Clips have been down the drain because of me. Because the thing is, like, I'll, like, if I wanna get something out of my wet, I'll just grab one
um,
of these and I'll be like, "Okay." It's gonna work, it's fine. It's double dual.
oh my god, so cute. Can I see it? Can I see it? Can I
Now I
show?
wanna see.
Okay. All right, guys. We're making Dobby.
Oh,
Oh
oh
yeah,
my god,
she has an attached.
that's so cute. Why does that look like a Dobby, though?
Oh my god, isn't this
Oh, that is so cute. I love Dobby.
cute? Oh my goodness, that is so cute.
That is so adorable. I never even would have thought that's a great class. That's a good class.
Pretty elf.
Oh my god, that is so cute. You can give it as a gift and get a sock and just
Yeah, so they're gonna put a sock on him. Yeah.
Dobby is
So
free.
this week's theme is Hogwarts week, so it's not
Mhm.
just Harry Potter, but it's anything to do with Hogwarts. No, Missy. Nope, nope, nope. She loves being on the camera.
No, 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 I get it too, and you're respecting no, 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 it's I get it. I totally understand that. 'Cause
I'm a
like you're like
mama first, like I
mhm.
the
You have to respect the kids. That's because I get
exact
a lot of question why I don't post pictures of my kids. Like there are very few pictures of my daughter because it's up to them to how they want to be posted or not. I
exact
just can't.
it's not my child, so I'm like,
Yeah, like with Faith, it takes great measures. Like she usually does the
yeah.
whole camera shoot. Like she'll be like, I'm gonna be wearing this, take pictures of me doing this. I'm like, okay, so basically I'm just the
So
photo
this
okay.
week is all Hogwarts themed things. We're gonna do a wand carrier later in the week.
That's cute. I think that was cool. You guys should do like Quidditch, like in between one of the classes. There's like Quidditch games you can do with beach balls.
Beach balls?
Yeah, it's like beach balls and a hula hoop. So like one person is like one side of the field goal and whatever. And it, like we played it in this this class to break up the test tension. So in the middle of the test, she collected all of them and then she brought out two hula hoops and one beach ball. And that was the golden snitch. Broke us up into teams and we just had to
Uh,
get the beach ball into the hoop. And it was actually it's a fun game. It's
I,
relatively inexpensive and you're having fun. See, DB, we're the same thing. Like I post pictures of Faith if she says it, like if it's okay. Like I'm like, hey, I have this bag. And I'm doing a shoot. So for her, she likes to do it because she likes to raid my closet, like pre-mommy clothes. Mixed feelings about that. Every shoe you ever seen her wear is mine. Okay, Just throwing that out there. Um, and then she comes up with like the shoot location and what we should do, but I won't post any pictures of my kids. I don't That's why you don't see birthday shout outs. I just celebrated my anniversary with my husband on the 3rd. You don't see me doing any of that because like when I sewing, this is my world with you. Like it has this I have to separate like my family from this. Now, does Kendall come on? Yeah, because he's like really supportive and he likes this world, so he'll do it. Sometimes you'll hear a kid or you'll see a kid and like you'll see Loki. Loki's is my shop puppy, so minus all the million surgeries. It's been a very stressful 2 weeks. It's-
it's
yeah. Oh my god. All her hats are mine too. Yeah. I have this hat. I've been waiting. She wants to put her head in it so bad. It's never been worn. I keep thinking I'm gonna go to the Kentucky Derby, and I have this hat for it. I'm waiting to go because of this hat, and I have a pair of shoes that match. I've had it for 10 years, but I will go one of these days. I want a mint julep, and I want to like look fancy. But she's always trying to get her big head into my pink hat. I'm like, it's not happening. I got this.
thinking
It is. The hat is amazing. It is amazing. It's the one it's like epic. I like making hats too, by the way. It's weird. I don't know, all the Mad Hatter hats you see me in, I made those. I like making hats.
sorting hat.
I don't know why. It's weird because I have a really big head and I have a lot of hair, right? Hats normally don't fit me, so that's how I got into hat making. Kendall wants to get into shoe making, so he's like all about my cylinder arm right now. I don't like sharing toys. I love him. He's my best friend. I don't ask for the remote. I don't watch your TV. So,
Who are you sharing toys with? I missed
he
it.
wants to make shoes on my industrial free arm. He's like, yeah, like when you're not using it, you could teach me and I'm gonna make shoes. I'm like, you really think it's gonna be that easy? You made flip flops. Yeah, no, dude, that pink hat. I will show you guys the pink hat and you're gonna be like, don't let her wear that hat. It's a
Uh-oh, my
beautiful hat.
battery's dying.
Okay, well, let's call it a day. And if you have questions, leave comments down below, and either one of us will talk and respond. And I will put the links to everything the moment we get off here, I'll put it in the description box. Okay? I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.
Have a blessed day.
Bye.